Hi, good morning, good afternoon, welcome wherever you are. Welcome to part 2 of intermediate core. So we're keeping sort of the same level as what we did last week, but we're going to do slightly different exercises. So again, if throughout you need to take breaks, if you need to take modifications, you know what works best for you, so please apply as necessary. And we're just going to get started, a little warm up. We're going to do something to increase our heart rate, get us a little bit warm, but at the same time we're going to throw in some core, otherwise I want to be core. So standing with your knees slightly bent, standing up nice and straight, your shoulders level, your hips are level. You're going to bring one knee up and touch it with the opposite elbow, and the other way. So you're bringing your weight onto alternate legs, and you're twisting from the waist to get your knee close to your elbow. If it doesn't touch, it doesn't touch, that's great. If it does touch, that's also great. You're just going to keep stepping when you're on that straight leg. Make sure you keep a slight bend in it, you don't lock out, you don't injure your lower back. And just look over to the left and to the right. Start getting warm, hopefully. And just keep stepping. If you've got some music you want to put on at this point, maybe you can put some on. Keep you distracted. Let's do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both feet flat onto the floor. Give us a little bend in your hips and roll your shoulders forward and roll them back, or the other way, whatever I just did. Do as I do, not as I say. And then when you're ready, we're going to make our way onto the mat. So, sitting with your legs sort of far enough in front of you, we're going to do some hip circles. So, to do this, you're going to bring your hands slightly behind your hips. You're going to spread your fingers nice and wide, so you've got a nice solid base. And you're going to bring one knee up towards your chest. You'll notice how you have to start sort of tipping backwards. And the other knee up. And once you're here, you can kind of readjust. So you want to get this sort of tucking of the pelvis, but at the same time, you want to make sure your core is engaged. And if you want to check that you're not just kind of sagging into it, place your hand on your belly, think about looking up, think about opening through your chest and your collarbones. And you should find that sort of sweet spot of balance where you're using your hands just to balance. In theory, you could take them off. In theory, if you don't want to take them off, you don't have to. And once you're here, we're just going to do some circles with our feet. So you're going to extend the legs out long, look at your feet. You're going to drop them over to one side, draw a little circle, come close to the mat, and bring them back up. Make sure you exhale on the way down, and inhale on the way back in. And you can bring your heels super close together, and your toes slightly apart, that way you don't take as much pressure in your hips. And you're using your core to draw little circles one way, and then the other. And if you're feeling a tremble, shake, that's welcome. I've certainly got one going. And use your arms to keep yourself balanced. I'm going to do one more, and another the other way. And then bring your feet down, bring yourself forward. Give your core a little bit of a break, because we've started off strong. So, once you're here, I'd just like you to look up, and look down towards your belly button. Get a nice rounding through the arms and through the neck. And we're going to go back into it and do some more. So, placing your hands behind your hips again. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor to begin with. Bring your pelvis under, tuck your weight forward. Extend your legs, and we circle. One way and the other way. And the smaller you make this, the easier it is, and the bigger you make this, the more difficult it is. The hardest part is the way back up, right? So So just make sure you're not collapsing into your chest, you're pushing through those hands to keep you open, and all the movement is coming from your core. It's coming from that lower belly that helps bring your legs round. Let's do 2 more. 1, and the other way. Last time. 2, and the other way. Very nice. Place your feet onto the floor. Take a little breather. Take a little break. Breathe in deeply. And out deeply. Blow your chili plant away. And last time, we're going to do our final set on these. So by now you know where we're going, you know what works for you. You know if you need to move your weight more or less forwards or back. So, last set. When you're ready, bring your hands, spread your fingers nice and wide, bring up through your shoulders. Chest and collarbone are nice and open. Tip your feet back so that you can feel that core engage. Straighten your legs and off we go. 1 and the other way. And the slower you do this, the harder it is. And 2 and the other way. 3, keep breathing. I know it's tempting to give up breathing when we're working out, but it's the one time where you really should make the most of it. Last 2, 1, and the other way. And last time, 1, and the other way. Nice job, bring it in, bring the feet down, and round over your feet, round over your knees, and drop the head. Very nice. Wipe the sweat from your brow, there's no doubt begun to accumulate. And now we're going to go into our hundreds. So, a lovely Pilates power move. You're going to lie down on your back. Yay! So lie down, make sure your mat is not rolling all over the place. Bring your shoulders so they're nice and flush against the mat. Bring your hands onto your hips and find that tucking motion that we described before. So there isn't so much space under the lower back that I can slip my hand. I'm sort of imagining someone punching me in the stomach, and that's flattening my spine out against the mat. And now I can kind of bring one finger max between my back and the mat. And once I'm here, it's like there's a corset that's closing in around my ribs, that's swallowing my ribs and my belly, and everything's kind of knitting in towards one another. Once you're here, bring one foot up and the other, so your knees are directly in line with your hips, and already you should feel your core begin to wake up. If your shins are slightly not parallel to the ceiling, if your feet are slightly higher than your knees, then that's fine. And once you're here, I'd like you to breathe in. And as you breathe out, can you bring your chest and shoulders up? So you should be looking at your feet in this sort of Superman diagonal line. Then you're going to bring your hands out to the side by the sides of your body. So I'm engaging through my arms, I'm engaging through my core, keeping myself very, very strong right now. And once you're here, you're going to pump the arms for 5. So you go on the inhale, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out doing the same thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And notice how I'm pumping from my shoulders. I'm not flapping my hands, I'm not bending my elbows. I'm really pumping from my shoulders. And that is engaging everything in the core from here, pretty much up to here to be honest. We're going to go again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep pumping, keep going, but notice if your back has started to curl up. Notice if you're following, like your feet are sort of coming in towards one another. Keep going, readjust if you need to. I'm going to do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees into the chest, bring the head and shoulders back. Give your knees a hug. Take a little break. Take a little breather. Woo. Breathe in and out. Big breath in, big breath out. Say thanks, core, but we're not done yet. So from here, we're going to flip over so we're onto our front. And we're going to go into a plank position. So roll yourself up however you find most effective. And get yourself into your plank. So you can start from all fours. This gives you like a good sort of starting position. You're pushing through the hands, your fingers are spread wide. Your hands are directly underneath the elbows, which are directly underneath the shoulders. It's as if you're opening a jam jar clockwise with your right hand, counterclockwise with your left hand. So there's that sort of external rotation. It's bringing your chest forward, pushing through every single muscle in your upper body. And you should feel nice and strong here. Then from here, you can do a little bit of sort of tipping in and tipping out to know where your midpoint is, where you can find that bracing sensation again of the ribs locking in and around the muscles of the abs. And then once you've found that, you just extend one leg out and the other. So your feet are about as wide as your hands, your bum is low, you're engaging through your core and you're already shaking. And once you're here, you're going to push through your hands, bring your hips up, so you're in a downwards dog. And from here, it doesn't matter if your legs aren't perfectly straight. You're pushing through the hands, you're pushing through the feet. You can have a little wiggle here if you want. And we're just going to take some down dog to plank, sort of push-ups, I guess you could call them. So from here, breathe in, roll through your spine, roll through your feet, bring your chest forward so you're back in that plank. Hold it for a breath. And on the exhale, push those hips back up to the sky. Bring yourself into your down dog. And keep this motion going at your own pace and focus on what's going on in your core. So can you notice that as you come forward into plank, your core is working really hard to keep you balanced, and as you push through the heels of the hands to bring your hips up high to the sky, your core has to work extra hard to get that extra elevation. And you're getting some engagement through the lats as well. Keep breathing, keep your neck nice and long. And we're just going to do a couple more. This is a nice sort of break. It is still core, but it's not as intense as what we've been doing. And just keep going at your own pace, breathing out as you get to your downwards dog. This is nice for the arms as well. Definitely wake up those shoulders. Make sure you're not cheating. Make sure your plank is nice and strong. Squeeze your glutes when you get to your plank to engage and protect the lower back. And we're going to do two more. One. Breath out, roll yourself forward. And last time, push those hips up to the ceiling. Walk through your feet. And gently bring your knees back down to the mat. Give yourself a little child's pose, a little break. Breathe in. And out. And now we're going to go into our final two exercises. So for this, excuse me, from here you're going to lie on your front. So make your way there, again, as elegantly as you want. We don't discriminate. And bring your forehead onto the mat, and your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. We're going to work our back. We're going to finish with working sort of all the muscles of the core that are often left behind because you can't see them on photos unless somebody's taken a photo of your back. Anyways, so from here, it's as if you're bringing your chest through your hands. So you're already engaging through your muscles to try and bring yourself up a little bit. You're going to keep your feet sort of hip width apart and really push into the tops of your feet. You're also using that core that we've been engaging. Just because you're lying on your stomach doesn't mean you're ignoring it. You're not kind of flopping around and just engaging the muscles of your back. You're really thinking about lifting your bottom ribs off of the mat, engaging your core as if you were going to sort of super fly like this, and you're going to have to bring up everything, engage through the front to protect the back. That's kind of what you're going for here. So I'll explain what we're going to be doing. With your forehead onto the floor, you're going to bring your head off the mat, so your spine is still nice and long. Then you're going to curl your hands into fists. So your elbows are pointing towards the ceiling, they're pointing back. And the idea is you're going to extend the arms back, bring yourself up, and bring them back above, just below, sorry, your shoulders. So you're kind of extending out and in, out and in. And you don't want to touch the mat. If you do, that's fine. Keep engaging through that core, keep pushing into the muscles to protect the back, squeeze those glutes. And we're going to go for 5 more, 4, 3, 2, keep breathing, and 1. Make a pillow with your hands, one hand on top of the other, bring your forehead on for a little rest. Move your hips from side to side to release the hips. And then when you're ready, our final exercise, you're going to bring your forehead onto the floor, bring both hands out to the side as if you were a T shape. So you're keeping a fist here, you're making a fist with both of your hands. Bring your head up again, like we've been doing. Engage through those glutes, engage through that core, push through the tops of your feet, and bring your hands slightly off the floor. And then you're going to bring them back in a swan, and back to a T. So exhale as you bring your arms back, and inhale as you bring them back in. And again, you're not touching the floor, you're not touching the mat. All of the movement is coming from your back, it's protected by your core. Notice if you've forgotten to engage your belly. Keep pushing through the tops of the feet, squeezing through those glutes, and that will help engagement. Should be feeling your arms by now, so we're going to do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, again keeping that neck nice and long, 2, and 1. Bring your hands back into that little forehead pillow, stack your forehead on top, and bring your hips from left to right. And then when you're ready, push yourself back to child's pose. So keeping your head low, close to the mat, push up and back. Don't throw your neck back. And take a little break here. Breathe in and roll yourself up to standing. 1 foot at a time, nice and slow. Then we're going to stretch out those abs. You're going to bring your hands up to the ceiling. Stretch, 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 stretch. Over to one side, over to the other side, and bring it all down. And you're done. Hopefully that was a good sort of wake me up workout. Say thank you, core. Thank you, core. Catch your breath if you need to. I know I do. And I'll see you next week for some final advanced core. And that will be fun for both of us, I'm sure. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this video.